Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television. A quick reminder of our top stories now. People's Democratic Party, PDP, flags off presidential campaign in the Northwest, promises to take over government from the ruling APC in the 2019 elections. 26 All Progressives Congress State House of Assembly aspirants in Ogun State defect to the Allied People's Movement. Governor Amosun reaffirms loyalty to the APC. And President Muhammadu Buhari joins other world leaders of the 24th edition of the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Katowice, Poland. Forum identifies climate change's greatest threat to humanity. And Russia plans national honors for border guards who seized 3 Ukrainian vessels and 24 sailors last week. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on youtube.com/channelsweb you can find our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. Now, besides giving you access to news and updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. Our attention has been drawn to an article on Channels Television written by one Onoshe Nwabuku, whose photograph is on your screen, published by the Punch newspaper on Sunday, December the 3rd, 2018. The article is false, misleading, and a figment of the imagination of the writer and her sponsors. Contrary to the allegations made by Onoshe Nwabuku, no video was doctored in the interview with the special advisor to the president, Mr. Femi Adesina, as she alleged. Channels Television has never doctored any video in its 23 years history and does not intend to do so now or in the future. Our political desk had invited Mr. Adesina for a live interview on November the 23rd, 2018. As it is customary, the web department posted a video on our online platforms during the program. In so doing, some parts of the video, which were cut in bites of 10 minutes, overlapped during the upload and suffered a glitch. There was no motive on the part of the web department to hide anything, as the program was already broadcast live in the first place, and the remarks in question had already been tweeted by the channel's web department. Surely, if we had something to hide, we wouldn't have posted or tweeted the video at all. When Channels was alerted of the glitch, the web department reposted the video immediately, and this has been up on our website and YouTube channel since Monday, November the 26th. We remain focused and will continue to hold government accountable, give opposition a voice, and make the citizens aware of their rights and responsibilities. Onoshe Nwabuku obviously didn't understand the issues at stake, but chose to latch onto the suspicious, spurious, and unsubstantiated claims on the social media and proceeded to impugn our integrity in the said article. We will not hesitate to use all within our means to seek legal redress against anyone who chooses to malign or bring our media organization to disrepute. We thank all our viewers who have expressed their concerns over the article and assure that we will remain committed to our constitutional roles as the fourth state of the realm. And now, as promised, we are now being joined on the news at 10 by Mr. Olushola Adeoye, an environmental conflict analyst. I want to thank you so much indeed for joining us here on the news at 10 to elaborate further on the COP24 that's currently happening in Poland. Now the need, it's just so much. The need for action, clearly, now more than ever before. So what can we expect over the next 2 weeks in your estimation?
Well, as usual, you have this political gathering, and after that, you have the scientific community. They do all sorts of discussions, and at the end, the political body decide what will be done, like what you know about United States after the Paris Agreement, and you have a change of government, and then Trump came up with a new agenda. So for us, in the scientific community, You always have the evidence on ground, but we need the political will to see things, to work. So for the next 2 weeks, yes, you have a lot of discussions, scientific discussion, then the political comment, head of government will make a number of statements, but in the end, it boils down to what action that will be taken at the end of it all. So Poland, like what we saw in Paris and the last COP, it's always a lot of discussion, commitment, but action will always follow after the COP meeting is over. So let's watch and see what is going to happen.
Let's look at what our President Muhammad Buhari, said at the COP24. Now, this is what he said. It says that Nigeria is on track to achieve 20% of the nationally determined contributions in 15 years and would support 40%. How do you see this transforming the Nigerian economy, if I would ask you?
Well, I don't doubt what the president said. I am not in government. So either Nigeria is on track or not, only the people in government can prove that. As far as the economy is concerned, it's difficult equally to say that if we cut the emission without cutting the gas flaring, it's difficult to say we are actually on track. You understand? At the same time, if we don't put the necessary infrastructure on ground, I don't know how we want to cut the emission at the same time sustain the economy. So there are two things that needed to be separately discussed at the same time brought together.
But do they add up for you?
For me, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because we depend heavily on oil. A lot of gas flaring in the Niger Delta. We have promises that we're going to cut. That promise was made in Paris. That's 2015, 2018. Do we have credible information on ground that steps have been taken in that aspect to cut the emission? That aside, how much have we invested into clean energy? Have we reduced the amount of energy that is lost in the grid? So when you put all this together, then you can say we're on track. But put that aside, the impact on the economy, we are still heavily depending on our oil. So without oil, I don't know how we want to survive. So if we pump out oil every day, and we're also saying we want to cut back the emission, so how do we cut back the emission when some other step we needed to take, we're not taking it?
So at this point, it is believed that now more than ever before, we need to protect the planet, by extension, everyone's lives on this planet. But what efforts must be in place to help people and the planet, in your view?
In my view, we don't need rocket science anymore. The facts are already on ground. For Nigeria, that is my country, I think the best of the best we need to do is to convert our actions, our rhetoric into action. First and foremost, we can identify societies that are actually suffering the impact of climate change. We often talk about Lake Chad as a critical example. Well, it would be difficult to work in Lake Chad now because of the insurgency. But then come to the coast of Lagos. If we are actually removing our source of support in terms of what the lagoon is providing in order to extend housing estates, and then removing community that depends on this, closest resources to them, we're not fighting climate change.
But you think that Lake Chad region that you just mentioned,
yes.
Do you think that region can be saved, especially when you hear Mr. President has repeatedly called other governments within
yes.
that region to try to, even outside of Africa, to try to do something to rejuvenate the Lake Chad?
Take us back to 1970 to 1973, when much of the water in Lake Chad was lost. But then the population around the lake has not reduced. Instead, it continued to grow. Let's assume they depend on just 10% of the water. So if the population around the water is growing, it means there's some sort of coping mechanism among the people. Well, what we need to do is to scale it up. For me, the current agenda to save the Lake Chad might not be the best option in terms of, transferring water from Ubangi through the Central African Republic to recharge the lake.
What's the best option? The
best option is work with the people along, to the parent community along Lake Chad and see how have they been surviving all these years. If we can work on that, I think we can save Lake Chad.
That's a good place. Around Lake Chad. That's a good place to let it rest. I must indeed thank you for talking to us on the news at 10, Mr. Olushola Adeoye, an environmental conflict analyst.
Thank you very much.
Indeed. When the news at 10 returns, telecoms giant MTN launches season of surprises for the Yuletide with gift items for its subscribers. Join us again.